All right. I want to thank everybody for coming. We'll be starting in less than 1 minute. We'll be starting in less than 1 minute. I want everybody to be all right. Greetings and salutations, everyone. How y'all doing? All right, all right, all right. Listen, first and foremost, I just want to thank you all for coming and being able to show your advocacy of being great Houstonians. Today, we have what is called Coffee and Conversation. Coffee and Conversation was created roughly about 5 to 7 years ago. And the idea was, instead of having people have to find a way to come to City Hall and talk to people, how about the people from City Hall come to the people? And that's what the basis of Coffee and Conversation is. Today was supposed to be hosted by our good friend Rachel, who is in our outreach program, and she got a little ill. And so therefore, you know, we are a team, and due to the team effort, we have all come to try to support her and support the city's behalf of making sure that we have this program go on today. We appreciate you all truly coming. We know that your time is important, and we want to make sure that we respect your time. So therefore, we're going to go ahead and start. I think the first we would like to introduce NRCDC, just to say a couple of words and greet. And then we'll also recognize the people that are here on behalf of the city. And then we'll go ahead along with our presentation. Do we have anybody from NRCDC that would like to greet? All right, all right. So we'll go ahead, we'll go ahead and move on. So I'll start. My name is again Rashad Cave. I work for the Department of Neighborhoods. I am the City Council liaison for the department. It is truly awesome and a pleasure to be here. I'll pass the mic to my coworker. Can you introduce himself?
I am Mark. I just speak communications.
All right. And then can I have my two favorite coworkers in the back introduce themselves too as well?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elvis Pugh. I'm one of the liaisons for the Department of Neighborhood Community Assistance Office. I am giving support to my esteemed colleague Anita Iver today. If you have any concerns, I have given out all of Anita's cards. So if you have something that you'd like to discuss today, I am here for you. I can give you my card. Either way, we're going to get you straight.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sean Broussard. I'm the division manager for the Mayor's Assistance Office, and I just came by to take a look and see what's going on and help out. So, thank you very much for listening.
All right. And where would we be without HTD? Would y'all like to greet and say hi? Just briefly. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Officer Bland. I'm out of North Command, Police Station. Here I have a partner today, the dog probation. So my name is John. I'm ready to get out here and work right after the bad guys. Right now, you're doing an orientation with us, seeing what we're doing. They hit you back on the street, rocking and banging next week. If you have any issues dealing with HMD in the north, south side area, please, give me, ask me, and then I'll provide a more answer. I can get a relay to like people. Again, us coming out here and making sure that we understand it's y'all that have issues And, study conviction, and we know we got issues with need, but everybody got issues. But, these people are keep on trying to succeed, so everybody has to take it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so today, the way that we're gonna structure it, just to be fully transparent, we have a special guest from Solid Waste, that's gonna come and talk to you and update you about what's going on behalf of the city as it pertains to solid waste. And then feel free to ask any questions or concerns that you might have after the presentation. And then if you want to just open it up, right? I had a conversation earlier today and I said that even though we work for different departments, we still all carry the city logo, right? And so we want to know if you have any other questions or concerns that we can listen to, that we maybe can address or help you navigate to while you're here. With that being said, I have a young gentleman to my right, Brother Desmond. He's worked in solid waste for a very long time. Started from the bottom, now to the top, which is a song. So, okay, maybe not this group. Yeah, thanks. You're right. But you know, I only say that because that shows a level of passion, and it shows that he's just not here today and gone tomorrow. It really shows the consistency on really wanting to see the department grow as well as the city of Houston grow. So if we could, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Brother Desmond.
So real quick, just to make sure everybody can hear my voice, can you guys hear me? Great. So real quick, my name is Dept. Now I'm the community volunteer coordinator. All of you should have information, transportation, that's correct. Anybody missing any information? All right. If we could, so behind me in a second, we'll put up city solid waste website. That website is new. Free tools, great. We want to get everybody to get that new presentation. Ask you guys, may go on our website and navigate. We also have an app to it. We've referenced several times throughout my presentation to find any information. So anything that I talk about today that they can see or they can use all that information can be found on our website as well as our app. Another thing that I like to guys, all you guys, stakeholders, supervisors, city club presidents, please take this information back to the community. Those who aren't able to be here with us today, so we can improve our community kind of one president at a time. So the first piece of information that I talk about is our new all plastics recycling program. So at our neighborhood department, we recently rolled out an all plastics recycling program. We basically accept all plastics in our neighborhood department. Now that does not change except curbside. Curbside is what you got to roll out every other week. Your green container, that is not changing. The material that's there, those do not change. But if you do have plastic material that is not accepted in your 96-gallon tank, now take for our depository, we accept all plastics, numbers or not. You can take that material to our depository. Very excited about the program. The next piece of information that you guys have too is our neighborhood depository and recycling center. So if you guys have debris that may be set out in off-cycle funds, we have more recycling that can be in your container, garbage, more garbage, container, construction, all items that are you'll see that information listed on this sheet as well. We also have facilities that accept things like paint, electronics, batteries, oil, all of those different disposal items that you may have. We have a way to accept it. Check out our app. Our app is HX Collect. We have what we call a waste wizard tool where you can search specific items. You'll actually tell you what and also on our FAQ, we have a FAQ, we have a single point to the app. The third piece of information that I gave out is just further information on our app. We are asking all residents to download it. We do also use it as a tool for communications. We know sometimes our services can get inundated and service around behind, so we use that information out of those communications out through our app. That information is sent out via your address. So it's all information received pertains to your particular address, either citywide or specific to your route. So this last piece of information is probably the most important, most intricate. It's our trash facts. This will kind of give you a general overview of everything that we do in the department. So trash facts also it's our website for those who are on Zoom. If you go to our website, City of Houston Solid Waste Management, and scroll to that website, you'll be able to follow along. So garbage collection, garbage trash can. That trash can is to be set up for actions to be collected. 96, we want residents to have their houses for people residents or parking around where you set your can out. We also want cans 3 feet apart. Anything closer than that is an issue for our crews to pick up. Anytime that you have a mailbox, you have a car, any type of structure that will cause damage to around your car, it makes it difficult for us to pick up that car. Yard waste can now be put in a separate collection bin, and our crew will pick that up at one point. We have yard waste disposal bags, are no longer to put that yard waste in for our crews to come around and collect. Add a can. We have a lot of residents who request an additional 96-gallon can in order to have that can serviced, right? You can't just go sit there and during the flow, no cans, all this stuff you can't take two of them. You have to actually pay for that second. So if you are interested in receiving a second 96-gallon can, please go to our website, make that request, the appropriate information, building information. Tax rebates. If you guys have extra capacity, maybe at a party or something, you have bags that need to be collected that will be outside of your 96-gallon car. Those have those bags and we'll come around and collect true waste, nothing other than wood waste will be collected. Your couches, your fencing, or your out of each is normally comparable to 2 truck beds. That is the largest amount of debris that you can put out during these months. Also, if a contractor is on the service at your home, that contractor is responsible for removing that debris if you have a tree, not during storm, obviously, but during that contractor is responsible for removing that debris as well. If you're home routine maintenance, you put that tree curbside, we'll come by and remove that tree. But always remember, as you have contractors who perform services at your home, you're also paying that contractor to remove that debris. Neighborhood depositories and recycling centers we touched on briefly. North Main, I believe, is the closest neighborhood depository to this area. North Main is the closest neighborhood depository to this area, so if you guys need to use the depository, you guys do have capacity. Large debris, North Main is that closest depository. Recycling court. So cans, only items that are acceptable inside your 96-gallon recycling court. Anything outside of that, plastic-wise, you can't take to our neighborhood depositories for our all plastics recycling. Environmental service centers, our environmental service centers will take antifreeze, batteries, fuel, oil, paint, pesticides, paint thinners, those type of items you are trying to get rid of. Those do not go curbside, those will actually go to our environmental service centers. If you guys are ever having an issue where you need a container replaced, a container has been damaged just over the lifespan, the longevity of the up and down of that car, please call me 311. Let them know that your container is damaged. The instruction normally just flip it upside down on the curbside. We'll have somebody come out and either repair or replace that container. So I think that's about Dead animals. If you guys ever come across a dead animal, please call 911. It's solid waste obligation to remove that animal that's on public right of way. We do have an adoption container program. If you guys are part of nonprofits, City Club. Please do not request one to do a community cleanup. We'll be happy to assist school bank to be able to provide those supplies for neighborhoods and community cleanups. One part, I'm not gonna get close. So I have a quick, all were affected by the recent disaster of the storm. So all we're asking, a lot of residents have storm debris. As you get your second pass, as you debris separate from your white goods here, when our crews come by to remove the material, because there are different crews for different types of material. Also, as you come across hazardous waste, as you come across electronics, we do ask that you utilize 311 to indicate to our crews that you do have hazardous waste out, because that is exposed to the light. So real quickly, I'll show it to the camera as well. We will have handouts and we'll have this information on our website. Properly separated. Great question. So we do not want you to bag or some of those bags. It may not be open at that particular process. We don't know what's inside the bag. A lot of times when you have trash bags, it can't be open inside the container.
You said if you have a party, how do you tag?
So you have to go to the city usual website, solid waste website, you purchase tags and bags. It'll actually be on our website. Not given, you gotta pay for them. So you gotta purchase tags or bags, any extra capacity bags. We'll send them to you, you have to place the tag visibly on the outside of your bag that indicates our driver how to remove those tags and they have to pay for it. Anything that is not tagged that you place outside of your container will not be removed.
And for the trees, we have an issue that we're seeing a lot of trees on private property. And I said, a lot of elderly people have the issue moving them. Does the city have any kind of thing they can do with that? I see trees down, maybe on the sidewalk a little bit, I'm trying to reach it a little bit, but we're trying to see how some of the debris off people's private property that has big trees that's all just laying there.
So as far as private property, I don't know if that relates to the storm or just in general. Storm. So as far as private property, solid waste management would not enter, we still won't enter private property to remove it. But anything that enters with curbside, we will remove. Our fulfillment throughout this process.
Sidewalk, that's down that city used to.
So sidewalk is actually city use property, but we do realize that in an area where that's placed, so we will remove it. We remove it as long as it's indicated to where that's placed curbside. We also know a lot of our neighborhoods, we run a thin line between the streets, the curb, the sidewalk. So wherever residents place it out, we run it.
Okay, my question has to do with the calls that we get at the mayor's assistant's office. So here's my most popular one, and I kid you not, and I'm just putting it out there. So I put my recycling out, and on the way to the curb, I saw a branch. So I put one branch. The driver empty my parking now?
So, great question. So, anytime, we have a driver who is picking up recycling, that driver is also for contaminants or a cart that's being used. So that will indicate to our driver, right, that cart is being used improperly. Though it may only be a branch or two to YouTube, the cart is absolutely contaminated. So that doesn't want to continue. A lot of times they'll tag that cart, he'll let you know that, hey, it's branch, or it then becomes the responsibility of the owner to remove that item and put it back out. For the next collection process, we will not come back around that same cycle to remove it.
I didn't see you say that you don't have to have special banking, right?
Well, you can use a collection container, not necessarily the trash bag. You can use a collection container that can be emptied into our vehicle. So you may use a smaller trash can. You may use I say broken, but not broken. Yeah, like a brown bag that you may get, compostable, plastic bag. You want to use a vessel that can be emptied into our vehicle. So a lot of people are using smaller trash cans, replacing my curbside, we see the debris, empty into our vehicle and return it back. And then also with that, just as a caveat, so that container responsible for that damage as well. Yes, sir. If your property is damaged by somebody else, is he responsible for it? To move that tree off of my property? So that's not a solid waste question, but we have a Department of Neighborhood representative who will answer after the meeting. We'll be happy to help you with that. All right.
Okay, I put the trash, debris on 43rd last week. On Justice Park Drive, also 43rd. No trees were picked up on the sidewalk, no debris. So now, sidewalk in the street. So I would like them to come back, whoever was hired, to come back and get those trees all the way down, all the way around. So I can use the sidewalk. I'm gonna use it.
Yes, ma'am, I'll get that information from you about the location. After the meeting, we'll make sure that we get something about it. Just be mindful, as those crews are out, they are removing, storm debris kind of systematically as we run routes. It may seem a little unorthodox to the naked eye, they want to run them as efficiently as possible. They want to run them as safely as possible. So it may appear sometimes that they left debris or they're collecting debris and piling it all together. Like I promise you, for a specific purpose, for a specific reason. We also have different vehicles that do different things. But in the event that you believe that the street's been neglected or has been missed, you can let me know. You can let the Department of Neighborhood know. You can also contact me. We want to make sure that we're being steward of our neighborhood, removing storm debris as effectively and efficiently as possible. A beautiful lady.
The city here in our home. And it's my, crippled my, where the year home is right, ramp is right, my back porch is right, and I have to do the walk to get in the outside of my house. And so I won't hurt myself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So that's actually another Department of Neighborhood question, and we'll have Department of Neighborhood representative assist you as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Do we have any more solid waste questions? So two people asked the questions prior to, I want to make sure we get answered in Zoom. I think you had a question as far as, some center point issues, then we had a recycling question back here.
Things down when they were replacing during the storm. One of them at Army is in a ditch, just blocking the water, it's going to flood. And so, do you know how we get hold of them to get that picked up? Because that's not solid waste.
Debris that's left behind by center point solid waste, pick it up and remove that debris, or ask for just to call it in 311, contact department as well. So we can contact center point and see, how we can get that issue alleviated. So great question. In the yellow in the back, you had a recycling question for me earlier?
Yes, I have some people recycling.
Are you in a home or are you in an apartment? An apartment, okay. So if you are in a program, that's kind of out there, so be on the lookout for that. The secondary currently, you can make a request to the apartment owner, and you guys can get together and make a request to the apartment owner for recycling, and that may bring recycling to that particular location, but currently, the city does not have recycling in apartment complexes, so the only way that we can facilitate recycling is in our center. Great question. Yes, ma'am. So bag and bring it to our neighborhood outdoors. Any other solid waste questions, storm debris questions, heavy trash? Heavy trash is still running. We do have collection crews, storm debris collection crews. Those crews look a little different. They're the tandem trucks, or the double barrel trucks, two black trucks with an operator in the middle. Usually those are contractor crews, but you'll also see solid waste crews that will still be down to performing service as normal. So just look out for that. Your heavy trash is still active, black tanker and still active garbage as well. Yes, ma'am.
So are you back to some sort of a normal schedule for regular tree trash or junk trash? What should we expect?
Yes, so we are still running behind. But that should be on, that is back on track, back on schedule.
So like within a week?
Within a week, yeah. Depending on the area, but within a week, 2-3 days, maybe, some areas we are running on time, but, different things cause us to kind of fall behind that schedule. So, yeah, you gotta look out for that. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. If you have neighbors that has trees on each side of your house, and they are coming up on your roof, and you tell them about it, and they don't do nothing about it, it's my responsibility to have somebody take them off my property.
So that is a great question, but that is another department in neighborhood question. So we'll make sure we get a representative over to you to make sure we get those questions answered for you.
All right.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Any additional questions? So real quick, before I leave, I want to leave my information. First, I want to say thank you guys, thank you, Department of Neighborhoods, for having us out and being able to give out this information. These type of It record with the community, answer some of these questions that we know a lot of you have. Also, please just be mindful of this doing brief, please take this information back to your community and continue to have any further questions. Feel free to also reach out to Department of Neighborhoods. Utilize 111 always as well. So my first name is Desmond, and it'll be as well. My email address is first name, last name. So first name is Desmond, last name Allen, DESMINE .ALLEN at Houston will be that email address. If you got any questions, feel free to email me at any time. 3742. Feel free to reach out with any questions as well. So thank you guys. All right. Can we give a round of applause?
Well, solid waste is definitely a hard department, right? They have so much responsibility and there's so many things on any given day that really is needed for that department. So we appreciate them coming out. Can anybody answer this question? Again, what can you put out on the curb on odd months? What are you eligible to put out on the curb odd months?
Everybody's got a cheat sheet. Everybody's
Trees. Freeway. She said it. A quick way to learn is that odd months, treeways, even months, everything else. Odd month, treeways, and on even, everything else. Yes, sir. That's a big issue. A big issue, especially since we're definitely in the city of Houston, seeing a larger renters community. And it just goes to show how difficult solid waste, task is on any given day. As far as it pertains to the Department of Neighborhood, if you see that, that's actually declared as a heavy trash violation, right? So what you would do, if you see an actor doing that, you would call in 311, you would look for either communicate to the receptionist or use your app and put it as heavy trash violation. And by doing so, then the Department of Neighborhoods will send out an inspector to go out and look at it, and then we can attack the owner of that property. Even though a renter might have done it, it still falls on the owner's responsibility to handle that.
And as a department, we do now have solid waste inspectors who can go out and write citations to properties as well. So as you guys see those violations, please call them in. We want to get them cited. We want to get those issues rectified.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, ma'am. You can put a mattress, maybe two. The way that I've heard them always rationalize is that you should be able to, you're limited to putting enough that can fit in the back of a pickup truck. As far as just a visual of how much heavy trash that you can do. So when we talk about renters moving, and you go by a property and you see 6 different mattresses and box mattresses, they're totally in violation in so many different levels. Not only just by putting it out so early, but the volume that's out there. But yes, ma'am, you can. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's the week of, correct? Yeah. So the question that she had mentioned was that people are not following the rules as far as when is the proper time to put out the heavy trash. That's the issue, and that's a violation. So feel free to call in 311 and say, hey, look, we are seeing a heavy trash violation. And then they'll give you a sort of request number and turn that in. The faster the better. Right now, our time is right around 10 to 12 days from the time that you actually turn that in to the time an inspector possibly can come. And that's just worst cases in most cases. We try to under promise and over deliver. So call it in and make sure that you stay on top of it. A lot of times, us as neighbors, we tend to kind of overlook thinking that the neighbor next to us called it in, and we allow time to elapse, and the situation continues to happen, and the owners are sometimes just ignorant to doing the right thing. But we have to apply pressure, not only the city, but you as a community, because you have a right to a quality of life, which is what we are tasked with each and every day as a department of neighborhood.
And that's what we call an early placement violation. So when you're calling into 311, please say, hey, my neighbor who's putting their trash out early. That lets us know there's an issue. We need to get to it a little bit quicker.
100%.
And to educate when we go out as well. Hey, you have this timeline.
100%.
Early placement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if I move into a home, are the bins automatically put there, or do you have to contact?
Great question. So the question was, if you move into a new resident, will you automatically be dispatched a 96-gallon black bin as well as a recycling cart? Great question. So if you're moving into a new home that does not currently have a black or a green bin, we rely on you to give a call to 311 and request
One, if you move into a home that has previously been given one, and you get there to one or the other or multiple, you call out your request an additional bin, let them know you've already moved in, and let them know what's missing, and then they'll let you know kind of the time schedule when you can expect those items to be delivered, and sometimes we make accommodations. Actually, most times the accommodations if there are bins missing on how we can remove the trash in that resident as well. While we're on that topic, also let's talk about tires real briefly that I missed. 4 tires can be placed curbside or removed by solid waste as long as they do not have the rim in the tire. So tire is something that we see often dumped in our neighborhood, unfortunately. So we do have an avenue to remove tires as well as you can take a tire to our neighborhood department stores as well. Yes, ma'am.
To build on your question, when we storm in our neighborhood, the utility poles and transformers were repaired, but they are sitting on the curb of the house. On the estimate on the floor. Who fixed that?
Yeah, so the question was in the transformation of repairing the transformers and some of the poles during the storm, that the broken items are still left in the estimated and on the curb. And her question was who picked that up. It's supposed to be Centerpoint. Of course, not only you as constituents have issues with Centerpoint, but believe it or not, even in our office, our director, myself, have been trying to get a hold of a representative from Centerpoint for the last 2 weeks. And it's been very hard to do so. But Centerpoint is supposed to collect those items. Centerpoint is supposed to redeem those items. And even if it's a third party on behalf of Centerpoint, they are still responsible for getting those items. I would suggest probably no more than 1 more month. And after that, if you still see it there and it's still there, give us a call and don't even explain it more so than just say that there's an item here on the curb, it's debris, and then we'll address it from there.
My backyard backs up to a yard that never gets mowed. I am finding snakes and I am finding rodents in my backyard. Does anybody, is there a public call for backyards? I know there is front yards, but what about how do we get the backyard so that we're not overrun with the rodents and the snakes and stuff?
Absolutely, absolutely. Hi, my name is Rashad Cade, and I work for the Department of Neighborhoods, and we do that. So the question was, if you have a neighbor that is not being a good neighbor from the back of their home, who's responsible? The Department of Neighborhoods handles that. The Department of Neighborhoods is a very intricate part of the city of Houston because depending on what is the issue and what is the case, especially as it pertains to your quality of life, they're one of the few departments that have the right to possibly be on a homeowner's property. Okay, the state of Texas has some very strenuous rules and regulations as it pertains to people coming on your property. But if you have a violation, in some cases we have seen a beautiful yard of items in the very back, right? We see that tons and tons and time again in the city of Houston. But that adds to snake life. You call it in just like you would call anything in the front that you see. Now, the way that the process works, the way the process works is that you call in or you use the app, you use it and you say, hey, look, the grass would be, as long as the grass is higher than 9 inches, it's a violation, high brush. You call it in, you turn it in. Roughly anywhere between 10 to 12 days, we'll have an inspector come out and then we'll placard the yard. Okay? Placard the yard is where you'll see that yellow sign that's in that property that you probably have driven around and seen. A yellow sign that is in the property. Now, sometimes a homeowner might get smart and say, I don't want everybody to know that I'm in violation. They don't pull it up. Just by them pulling it up, it does not stop the violation, right? And we put that there hopefully for the people that have called to let them know, hey, we've been here.
right? But we, our job on behalf of the state is to give that constituent time to correct the issue. All right, so if we're talking about high grass, and we go to that homeowner, we recognize that it's higher than 9 inches, we give them that yellow placard, and we give them a warning. Hey, heads up, this is what you need to fix within a certain amount of time. Normally it's within 15 days. After that 15 days, we come back, and if it's still not done, now we take it to the next process, which is abatement, okay? Now, in abatement, we have subcontractors that we deal with that work on cutting lots and cutting properties that are in violation. But you have to understand that there is only so much that we can do in that process, right? We have situations which we shared earlier today, where we have lots where we just have homeowners or owners that don't even care about the lots, right? So we have situations where we have cut a lot, maybe twice within 1 year, right? Now, that is not a free cut, because every time we cut it, a lien is placed on that property. But we can't manicure and keep up the lot either, because just like that lot is in violation, probably 3 blocks down, there's another lot that we haven't touched yet that we still need to cut, right? And so I say that to say that it's unfair. We have to just continue to apply pressure on the people that are being bad actors. But the biggest vehicle that we have is calling it in and constantly repenting, and we debate it, and then they are back in violation. We don't give them another 15 days. We just automatically say, okay, hey, we're gonna go ahead and place another notice and try our best to put another lien on that property.
Is it fine too?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The lien comes with a fine, and depending on how long you pay for it or how long you take, the time is still on. Yeah.
In our neighborhood borders, warehousing development that has built in between the warehousing and our fence line, that is not known. Is that city, is that neighborhood, or is, how do we get that?
Yeah. The question was that if you have a grass easement between 2 properties, whose responsibility? Now that one is a little bit kind of multi-layered question, because sometimes those are not city owned. Sometimes they can be center point owned. Sometimes, depending on where it is and where it's lined up, it could actually be tech dot could actually own it. So there's many different entities that possibly can own it. I would be the first one to admit that the city of Houston, as much as we try, we're cutting our lots, but not at the same rate as we used to due to budget issues. If you would have seen us probably about 10 years ago, we probably on all city properties would have cut those city properties anywhere between maybe 10 to 12 times that 1 year. Now it's close to almost half, right? And I'm just being honest with you, right? But that doesn't stop you from still calling it in. And believe it or not, the Department of Neighborhoods has placarded our own lots. So if you have a lot that is city owned and the grass is high, and we have called it in, you have called it in, we have notified, hey, Parks and Rec, is your property is getting out of hand. Okay, you're not gonna do anything about it, we'll placard it, and of course, nobody likes to be told in their own department, so, still call it. Okay, yes, ma'am, did you have those?
Also, I've been told by my neighbors, they don't know that I called you,
So she, yeah, I'm repeating, and she has a handful of them. I'll try my best to make sure. So number one, she mentioned about a fence. There's a neighbor that's in her community that is using, pallets as a fence. And they're collecting junk as well in the backyard, and nothing has been done about it, right? So one of the things as it pertains to compliance, a person could have been fined and a lien could have been placed on the property, and at the same time, there could be time elapsed that it seemed like nothing's being done, but that stuff is being done to find a contractor to be able to actually take care of those items that are possibly still in the back. Some are more difficult than others. I mean, we have dealt with lots that are almost the size of an acre, with mechanical parts. That's not as easy to like clean up or fix up versus a person that might be just collecting flower pots, right? And so every situation is different. Well, I'll definitely look at that address from you. We'll look to see specifically what's going on with that case. As far as the fence is concerned, the regulation is just the height. We really don't go into detail on like how they make the fence. Unfortunately, we can't manage ugly. There's a lot of ugly fences out there. Trust me when I say that. I've had a neighbor try to do that pallet fence as well. It doesn't look good at all. Cars, you in the neighborhood have the opportunity, and I think it's through the Citizen Assistance Office, to fill out a petition to ensure that cars are not parking on the grass. Are we still doing that? No? No? Okay, I thought they filled out. Okay, maybe, I'm sorry. Okay, so there is a process, and it may be through ARA, and I'm sorry, I apologize. But there is a process that a neighborhood which mostly goes through the civic club to prevent people in their community from parking on their grass. And what it is like you have to sign up, it's a petition, you have to get a certain number of signatures from those people in that community. And when a violation is called to a home about a car, responsible or is technically for both parties. The party of the person that called in, as well as the party for the person that had the car on their lot. So if you call in and you say that there's this junk motor vehicle and we go out there, by law, we have to validate, is it really junk? Is it operable? Or is it just an eyesore, but it's still mobile? It still can be moved. And so that inspector is going to ask that homeowner, hey, look, can you crank the car on? Can it move 15 feet forward? Can it move 15 feet backwards? Is the city of the glass surrounding around that vehicle? And in most cases, if it passes those tests, they're capable of still leaving in front of the car.
If it's licensed or not, it has to be licensed, right?
That is part of it. I mean, properly licensed. Necessarily, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be inspected, but a license plate should be still on it. And, you know, I mean, hypothetically, there's a very vague area, but yes, it should have at least a minimum license plate. You know, if in some cases there's some rules where you have a classic vehicle, there's some rules or regulations that might be exceeding that, which kind of make it not a gray area, but for the most part, the inspector's task to see is it just a junk motor vehicle.
Current registration.
So they are, I'm just being told that they do validate it's a current registration. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Oh, a decal? Oh, a placard. I can look for one for you. This one, and it's yellow. We're the only department that uses it. It's like a yard sign that you would see is yellow and it has manual writing on it. It'll have the date, the violation, it'll have the service request number, and it has the parcel number as well. All right. Any other questions? So let me say this. First and foremost, they always say we're two or more gathered. It is always eligible for church. But we appreciate whether 2 or 10 people come to the Department of Neighborhood Coffee with Don. Our goal, to be honest with you, is to reach demographics of people that have time during this day. Believe it or not, most of our civic leaders are retired. Most of our civic leaders are people that care about their community and refuse to just lay down and just see travesties constantly happen in and out of their community and not say anything. We do have nightly events as well that we'll be definitely making sure that we pass out and send to you all via email. And these are night events. What we're doing now is bringing our whole department as well as other departments simultaneously, and we're trying to do it district by district. So this, I think next month we'll be doing District E, and then we'll be District B and District D should be sometime between August and September. Okay, so we're coming. We're coming. District A is going to be also on that list as well. So our goal is to try to reach you all. Our goal is to try to serve you all. And even if it's not an issue that's not within our department, let us know about it. Give us your service request number and we'll try to turn it in. We appreciate HPD for coming out. We appreciate Solid Waste for helping us and communicating with us, Citizen Assistance Office. Again, my name is Rashad Kay. We have NRCDC that helps us with these PowerPoints and programs. We want to thank them. And if there's no other questions, thank you all. And you all have a great rest of your day. Stay cool. We're told that the heat is supposed to reflect over 109 today. So please stay cool, stay in, and be careful. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.